Yesterday, we treated topic on text formatting elements, right? That's what we treated yesterday. And I explained to us every of the available text formatting elements that we have in HTML. I started from talking to us about bold, for bolding text in a paragraph, or for bolding a word in a sentence. Strong also, which are what we see here. Strong elements also. I told us that it's also similarly to bold as well. And italics, the italics element, that's the high element. I also explained to us what it does in terms of italicizing our text, you know. And I told us EM, the EM element, which means emphasis. That's if we want to lay emphasis on a particular word or in a particular sentence in a paragraph, or on a particular letter in a word, we enclose that word, that sentence, or the letter in the EM element. Just as we see here, that it was the similar to the sentence similar to italics is enclosed in the EM element, which means that the EM element and the italics element, they do the same thing. It will also italicize the word or the letter or the sentence enclosed in it. It does the same thing, just like the italics. The way an italics will look like is the way an EM element will also look like. Okay. Then I also told us about the mark element, whereby to identify a particular, to use to identify a particular word, it will highlight it. As we see this, like what we see here on this other side here, my name is Dami, and we see that the Dami here is highlighted with the yellow color. It's the work of the mark. It's the work of the mark element. Okay, that's the work of the mark element. And small here, as the name implies, small, is to make the content in between the element to look smaller than every other content on the page, just as we can see somewhere where we use it. Okay, that's what we use on this football. Okay, that's what we use on the football word that makes the football to look small. I want to find it. Okay, this is it here. Okay, we enclose the football in a small element. Okay, and also I talked about delete. Delete is just it's not going to entirely delete the word, but it's just going to strike it out. Just as we see here, I am a Lagos Ogun boy. We strike out the Lagos. I am an Ogun boy, you know, just to let us know that Lagos is struck out and we have Ogun there. So that's the work of delete. Not as if it's going to delete the whole word from the page. No, it will only strike it out, like canceling, to cancel it out that this word is not here again. Okay, that's the work of delete element. And all these elements are just used to format our text. As we can see here, they are just used for formatting the text. And also we have a script, insert. When you want to insert a new word in a sentence, you use it to insert word. Okay, just to insert word. And when we insert the word, it's going to underline it to let us know that this word was just inserted in here. Like, it's going to give the word a kind of special identification, just as we have here. What made this word to be underlined is the insert element that was used on it. Or you can also use underline element too. Underline also will do the same thing for you. Okay, and don't forget, I sent to us a PDF file on the group yesterday before we started the class. So all these elements are in that file. So if you can do ourselves a favor by printing out that file and pasting it on our wall, so that we can always see them and like get familiar to them when we meet them. Okay, I sent the document to us yesterday that we should, study it, and if you can go as far as printing it, pasting it on our study wall where we do our study, it will help us so that we get familiar with them. Okay, and there's also the subscript. Okay, subscript is to like make a word to be below, just as we have H2O. The reason why this 2 is underneath the H and the 0 is the use of subscript. Okay, x raised to power 2. What makes this 2 here to be like, to look like a power here, is the use of superscript. Okay, super will bring it up, sub will bring it down. Okay, so this is it here. The subscript is used on text, and to bring it down below every other word or every other text that we have. Okay, while the superscript will bring the word or the letter above every other letters or word or sentences that we have. Okay, just as we have it here. This is the H2O here. This one, this is it here. You see, the H is in a P element, while the 2 is in a subscript element. Okay, that means I want these 2 to be above H and 0. I mean, to be below H and 0 because it's a subscript element. So that's why we have H2O here. Okay, see the superscript. The S is standing on its own, but though in a P element, while the 2 is in the superscript element to make it go above the X. Okay, then we have the abbreviation element as well. The abbreviation element is used to, like when we have an abbreviation, just like we have here EFCC. So to make the definition or the meaning of the abbreviation to show, we use abbreviation. So when we mouse over it, we will see that the name will show Economic Financial Crime Commission. And how did we make this one show? Is the use of the text, the element attributes, which are what we are going to do today. That's what we are going to look at today. Element attributes. What is element? What are called element attributes? Okay. So we also treat something, an element also yesterday, which is break. This BR means break. Break is just like breaking your word into a new line, starting a sentence or a word on a new line. Just as we have it here, we are winners. Break, meaning that break to the next line, and you can see the result on the page. We are winners, and we love break. It means start the next sentence on the next line, and we can see it here. We are winners. It break, start the next sentence on the next line. We love. Break is here. That's why going to church started on the next line too as well. Okay, so that's the work of break. And as I said, I already sent every of these elements to us in a PDF file. Let's print it out. Let's get familiar with it. Let's use it, like, use it to practice, daily, and maybe we can also print it and paste it on our wall so that we can see. The more we see, the more we get familiar with it. Okay, so that's all what we treated yesterday. And someone wrote me on the group that she couldn't find Mark on a Visual Studio Code. Just write Mark. The Visual Studio Code is so smart to bring it out for you, so it's going to bring it out. Mark. I don't know why you're not seeing it on your Visual Studio Code. Just write Mark, and Visual Studio Code is very smart to help you to read it out, and just click on enter and write whatever you want to write. I am a developer. Okay, and let's save. Let me, you can see what it does there, like bringing it and lighting it yellow color. I don't know if one can change the color of this map, maybe from the settings. I will find out, but I don't know yet. I don't have a knowledge about it. Maybe we can change it to a desirable color, maybe blue that we want to. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know, but I will try to find out. I will try to find out. Okay, let's do what we are here to do for today. We want to talk about attribute. Okay, HTML attribute. That's what we want to talk about today. HTML attribute. Okay, that's what we are talking about today. HTML attribute.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, you can go
Um,
ahead, please.
yeah, I still cannot find the mark element on my VS Code.
Really? I don't know
Yes.
why it's not showing up. I don't know. Okay, you know what? If you can't find it, just write it on your own. Open the brackets, just like open a greater than bracket, write it on your own. You don't need the help of Visual Studio Code again. Write it on your own and close it.
It has come up. It has come up, sir.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So, what we are doing today, we are talking about HTML attributes. Okay, what are HTML attributes? Like attributes, HTML attributes or element attributes provide additional information about the element. It gives additional information about the element. And attributes are always specific and they are always in the opening tag, in the starting tag. Okay. You can't find attributes in the closing tag. Never. All attributes that you are going to see would always be in the closing tag. Okay. For example, the one we did here yesterday on this abbreviation, yeah, this abbreviation element, the title here is an attribute, and as we can see, we have it only in the opening tag. As you can see, we have it in the opening tag. So anything you see like this and you have equals to and you have a colon that will be open like this is always called an attribute. Okay, so for all of our elements, you can use attributes on them. You can use attributes on all of the elements, all of it. And the special one, let me show us another one here. All this meta name, okay, I think this one will be easy for us. Like this language is an attribute here. Language is equals to en. En here means English. It is an attribute, okay? An attribute. Character set. This one means character set, okay? Is an attribute also. Name. Name is equals to vport. Content is all these ones, the content, the name, they are all attributes, okay? They are all attributes, okay? They are all attributes. So you can give attributes to all of your HTML elements. And the one I'm going to show us now is style attribute. Style attribute. And what does style attribute do? Style attribute is just style attribute is just similar to like you styling, as the name implies, style. It's just similar to like you using CSS, but this one is using attribute in form of attributes. Okay, so style CSS, of course, we all know what CSS is. CSS is to style, is to design. You know, when we started this class, I told us the three technologies that we use in web development: the HTML, what we are treating now, the CSS to design, to style it, to color it, okay, and the JavaScript to make it functional. Okay, so now, if you don't want to use normal HTML, you can use the style attribute, which is like a semi HTML, which is like a form of, which is like a semi CSS, okay, which is like using HTML attributes to style the elements, okay. For example, style is equals to, you can say color, that I want to color this element. I want to color this element. You can write red and let's save it. You can see that this one here is showing red.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, sir. Sir, are you recording this class?
Yes, I'm recording.
Okay.
So style attributes, like as we see now here, that this one is red. Okay, red. You can also do so many styles. Like let's say I want to I want to change it to I want to change the font size. I want to change the font size. I want to change the font. I think this one should be comma. No, not comma. Yes, font size. Yes, I want to change the font size to maybe, let me say, let me use 15 RAM. This will be very big. Let me use 5 RAM. You can see the X now is big. X raised to power 2 is big, right? But I'll still teach us all this RAM, all this 5 RAM this one is knowledge that you're going to get from CSS, not from HTML, okay? So style attribute is just to style your stuff. Okay, you can also use this same style attribute on this map. Let's see if we use style attribute to change the color. Let's see. Let's say brown. Let's see. If we change, maybe it's the color of the text. Okay, it's the color of the text that it actually changes. Let me return this back to true. Right. It's color of the text that it actually changes. Let's see if we use background color on it and see if it would. Let's see if we use background color. Background color, let's see, to black. Let's see if we remove the yellow. Okay, we can actually use background color to remove. I think the yellow is the default color that is being used by Visual Studio Code, okay, by the app itself. So you can change it using background color to the color we want. So let's do the same thing on this. My name is Dami. Let's come to where is Dami? Where is Dami? Where did we mark it out? Okay, there is it here. So let's say style attribute is equals to background color is what we want to do now. Background color to, let's say, blue. Okay. Now we have it to the blue. And let's change the color itself, the color of the font. Color will only affect the text. It won't affect any other thing. Color to white. Let's change it to white. And we can see it's white. You can see it's white. So style. So let's give it space. Let's give it space. Like I want to give it space. But all this one I'm saying is just all this one I'm saying here, they are CSS, okay? They are all CSS style. Padding. Let me give it padding. Let me say 5 RAM. 5 RAM will be too much. 2 RAM. You can see padding means give it space beside by the 4 corners, by the 4 edges. That is padding. So you can see how big it is with the 1 RAM now. 1 RAM will be too much. 0. Let's say 0.3 RAM. That will be a bit nicer. Okay, you can see now. You can see my name is Dami, and there's space on the 4 corners. That's what padding will do. So, but what we are learning here in the HTML is the attribute. Okay, style attribute is to style the element itself. So you can use style attributes on any other element that you have. Okay, like this one now, the delete. The delete, we have the line that looks like it's deleting this one here to be black. So if we want to change the line, I think we can say style and say how can we affect the line now? How can we affect the line? I think that one will be done more with. Okay, let's see. If we say color, will it change? Let's see. It changed. So it comes together with the color of the text. So we can see that it changes. Yeah, you can see that it changes. But if you want to affect the line itself, that one will be done more with CSS, in depth of CSS. Like if you want to affect the line, the cross line itself, that one will be done with more of CSS, in depth CSS, and adjusting and making it so. So that's all what I want to make us understand, that with attributes, anything you see in the opening tag that is equals to blah 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 is called attribute, and we have so many of them. We have so many of them. I will compile a list to us on some relevant ones and send them to us. But when we see something like this, we should know that we have so many of them. So today I'm also going to teach us how to bring in a picture into your page. Okay, I'm going to teach us how to bring in a picture into your page. So I would like to bring a picture somewhere. I would like to save a picture somewhere. Let me copy this and drop it inside the folder here. Where's the folder? Where's the folder? Okay, so I'm going to use it. It's inside the folder already. If I open, oh, this folder is a lesson practice. So lesson practice is where web design, web design. Oh, lesson practice is somewhere. Oh, I'm trying to look for the folder where. Okay, I think it's on the desktop. Sorry, I'm trying to look for just right now. I can't find it. But nevertheless, let me just, I'll bring it in like that inside the VS Code. I'll just bring it in like that because I can't find it. So, so I have the picture here now already. So if I want to, so let me just create a folder for it. So it will be much easier for me to just do whatever right now. Image. So I'm going to drop this in the image folder. Yes. So it's moved already inside the image folder. That's good. So now I want to teach us how to bring in picture, okay? How to bring in picture into our page. The element we use to bring in picture is img, and just click enter. This element doesn't have a closing tag. It's still, it opens itself and closes itself, okay? And we have another one too like that again. I think link element or so. When we get there, we'll see. But for now, not all elements have a closing tag. Just as we have this break, yeah, this break doesn't have a closing tag. It has only, it's open itself and closes itself. So image element to the same thing. And what we can see here, who can tell me what this is? This SRC or what can we call it? What's the name? If you know it, please, you can unmute and answer, please. What's the name? The XRC is equals to, the auth is equals to, what's the name?
I think maybe the SRC should use it first. I'm not sure.
No. What can we call them? The two of them, the SRC, the auth. What can we call them? They are both attributes, just like style. I told us anything we see inside the opening tag like this
Can't
are
see what you're
attributes.
asking, sir.
Eh? What did you say?
I didn't see where your question is coming from.
Okay. I was just asking that what name can we call the two of them, this SRC and the auth? Just like this style is called attribute, the HTML attribute.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I can't see the S arrow, whatever. Wait,
You can't see my screen.
how is network?
Maybe you should log out and
I
log
can
in
see
again.
the screen, but the particular question you're asking, I can't see it.
This is SRC here now. This one here. SRC auth AT inside this image. Can you see it now? This is XRC is equals to inside the image element. You can do the same thing
Maybe
on
I
your
should just
system.
log out. And
Do the same thing on your system. Write image and see what it's going to give you on your system. And try to log out and log in again. Okay. Try to log out and log in again. All right, but the rest
okay,
of us, we can see it,
I've
right?
put it on my. I've seen it.
The
Yes,
rest
sir.
of us, we can see it, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's image, the attribute, the source attribute, the auth attribute. So now how to explain what those attributes, what they do. The source, the SRC attribute means source, okay? It means source. Like where are you getting what you want to do, what you want to bring in as a picture, where are you getting it from? That's source, okay? Source. Why the auth attribute means alternative, alternative. That is, if this, what the alternative does is that if the picture couldn't load, what should be represented as the picture? If sometimes network data or network service couldn't load the picture for you, what should be represented as the picture? That's why when you load some pages, in a place where picture supposed to show, you will just see they would write picture of dog. They will just write picture of dog, and you will see like a frame, and you will just see picture of dog, the word picture of dog. So if that's the you seeing that picture of dog, you seeing that text, picture of dog text, that's the work of the auth. Because the picture couldn't show, then there's something that should be replaced instead of the picture not showing. That's the work of the auth attribute. Okay, that means alternative, alternative for the picture. Okay, so now this source attribute is, as I said, is the place where you are going to get the picture from. What's the source of the picture? How you want to bring in the picture. So now, how do you want to bring in the picture? Let's look at our tree. The picture is in image folder. So you will say image. You see, Visual Studio Code is even very smart. So let us know that there's a folder called image in this tree. Image, you click enter. It will then enter inside the image folder and bring in everything we have for us. And you can see it's already bringing out the picture, that jlogo.png picture. That's the only thing we have in this folder. Then just click enter and save. You can see it's already showing on the page. So the auth attribute is just a name you want to display if the picture is not showing. So I can just say Dre logo here in the auth attribute. So if the picture is not showing, it's the Dre logo that will just show here, and it will show like there's a picture there for you. Something will show there like there's a picture, and Dre logo text, Dre logo will show that, okay, so that you would know that a picture was supposed to load here but couldn't load. That's the work of the auth attribute. Okay, so that's how to bring in a picture inside your your page. Okay, and this is what we've done today. And I think this one is enough, because I know that some of us will have some kind of struggle in bringing in this picture when I give us an assignment. But with repetition of watching this video again, I guess it will be easier for us to do the assignment. Okay, so you can also use style attribute on this image element. And where are we going to put the style attribute? Inside the opening tag, not after this forward slash. This forward slash means the element is already closed. Let me make it big so that we can see it. You can see this forward slash means the element is already closed, just like the break element here. You can see it closed itself, open itself and close itself. It doesn't have a closed element, a closed tag like this one that have a separate closed tag. So image doesn't have its own like that. It open itself and close itself. So if you want to style it, you inside that same place where we have all these source and auth attributes is still where you write your style. And how do you want to style it? Maybe you want to change the width. We know what width means. The width is the size. Maybe you want to change it to 200 pixels. I will still teach us all these pixels, all what they mean. Okay, let's press S. You can see it has reduced in size. Let's reduce it more. Let's say 100 pixels. You can see it has reduced more in size. Okay, if we want to maybe put a background color, let's put a background color to it. Let's put a background color. Let's say black. Let's say black color. Let's see what's going to give us. You can see it's already giving us black. And if you want to give it space, padding, you want to give it space on the edges. Let's give it some good padding. Let's use 0.5. Okay, let's use 0.61. And let's say you can see it's the space that is already giving us. And if you want to make it maybe to make the edges to rounded corners, that's where you have border radius. Okay, that's where you have the border radius. And let's give it like maybe 0.4 ram border radius, 0.4 ram border radius. You can see how shape. And if you want it to be more deep inside, you increase the size. You can see it's more deeper. If I put it as 2, you can see it's now becoming to circle. Let's use 1. You can see. So that's how to use all this. That's how to style your elements. Okay. If you don't know, because I've not taught us CSS now, you can use the style attribute to give your elements some kind of good looking shape or good looking ambient. So that's what all we are going to do today. I already explained to us what attribute means, and I've explained to us how to bring in picture inside our page. Okay, so the assignment you are going to do for me now is that you will bring in a picture first. You will bring in a picture first. After you bring in the picture, then you will now explain what that picture means. Okay, you will now explain what that picture means. Maybe you bring in a picture of an animal, explain everything you know about that animal, and in that your paragraph where you are explaining, you use every possible text formatting element that you know. Use every possible text formatting element that you know. Bring in a picture first, whatever picture, maybe a picture of a food, a picture of your father or your loved one or your family. Then you talk about that picture, what that picture means to you. Okay. Then in the sentence, in your description or in your paragraph where you are talking about the picture, use all possible text formatting elements that you know. So I want to start seeing the assignment rolling in starting from tonight. Okay, I want to start seeing the assignment rolling in starting from tonight. So I don't know if you have any question. This is where we're going to stop today. As I said, I don't like giving us too much lengthy class. I want us to be taking it one step at a time. So we are going to, because combination of everything, accumulation of everything is what we need to make it as one. Okay, so I don't want to be accumulating us with too much information on a daily. No, little, it becomes one. Okay, so I don't know if we have any question. Let's ask them before we.
What was the name of the thing we focused on in the last class? Was it style attributes? Because now I was not around. I just want to know the name of the topic, the heading of last class.
The lesson of the last class is HTML formatting element. I already sent the PDF file to the group.
All right, yes, I'll check that.
Just check the group. You will see the PDF file there, so you can print it out and use it as a guide to, you know, to the study that you want to do. Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I don't know if there's any other question again. Let's ask please. I don't know if there's any other question. And please, let's use our attribute on every possible way we want to use it, especially the style attribute. I want us to use the style attribute well for me. Like I've showed us three style attributes that we can use. Okay, I've showed us four today. I showed us width, I showed us background color, I showed us padding, and I showed us color, and I explained to us border radius. Okay, so I want us to apply these four on the image. I want us to apply these four, especially the width, the background color, the padding, and the border radius on the width. Then we can apply color on our text. Text, maybe we want to make this sentence to be yellow, this sentence to be blue, this particular word. We want to emphasize this particular word and we want it to be red. We can use style. Then the color, we can use color to do that. But for the image, I want us to use the style attribute, and what we are going to use on the style attribute: width, background color, padding, border radius, which I've showed us today. Okay, this I want us to apply this four on the image that we are going to bring in. Okay, then on the other text, we can use color, we can use background if we want to. Okay, but for the image, this four must be applied for the style, because I want to see the style element on the page as well. So I don't know if there's any other question before we say good night. I don't know if we have any other question before we say good night. Jane, is there any question from you? Marion, is there any question from you? Please, do we have any question?
I have no question.
Hope everything is simplified enough to us, right?
Okay, we'll try.
Okay. All right. So let's call it a night. And
Hello, sir.
okay.
Okay, it's not really a question though, but an observation. I observed that the break formatting element
Okay.
is just like, for example, in Microsoft, when you're typing and then you tap enter, the spacing between the lines is bigger than when you just keep typing and they just keep entering. So the break element is looking like I just kept typing without tapping on the enter key, while the paragraph, the paragraph element is like I'm entering a new line. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, the paragraph element is just to write a paragraph. And when you're starting a new paragraph, you will start on a new line, right? Depending on how you arrange your paragraph, though. Depending on how you arrange it, though. But then, normally if you're starting a paragraph, you start on a new line, right? Yeah, you start on a new line. So the break element is just like break it, start on a new line for me. Just like you are saying, start a new paragraph. Break this, start on a new line. That's the meaning of break element. Because if I have this now, let me show you something now. Let me remove this break. And I won't write them together, but they are inside this paragraph element. And let's see what will be the display. You see that I didn't write them on a straight line. I didn't write them like this. See, I didn't write them like this. I didn't write them like this. Right? Let me show us properly. I'm not going to write them like this. Okay? I'm going to bring them like this. Bring them like this. And let's save. Okay? Let's save. And let's see what we're going to see. You see, everything will show on a straight line. Even in as much as I'm saying enter, I'm pressing enter, it should break. It won't break. It won't break until I apply the break element in between. Until I apply the break element in between. That's when it's going to break. Until I apply the break element in between. That's when it's going to break. Let's save. You can see now that it has broken to the downside. You see that it is already break. It has already broken. But you can have it like this and save. It will still be on a straight line here, right? But this break here would reflect on your page that you say that, and we love going to church to start on a new line. Okay? You understand now? You understand now, ma?
Yes, I do, but I just observed something. This break element is not there's a little twist with it compared to the other elements. The other elements are having the complete open and close tags. The break element is having, please, why is that, sir?
It closes itself. It open and closes itself, just like image.
Yes.
Just like image element. Just like image.
Okay.
You know, see image too. Open and closes itself. They don't have a closing tag. They open and close itself. Not like Mac. Mac opening tag and have its closing tag. P element open and have its closing tag. All other ones, they have, you know. There's another one too, anchor element. Anchor, A. Anchor means link. If you want to link something, like link something together, okay? This href is an attribute. It means hyperreference. That where is the hyperlink coming from? Then you reference. We're still going to get there. All right, so I'm still going to explain to us. This anchor element is also an element also to reference something. But gradually, we are still going to get there. So I don't know if there's any question. Is there any other question? We don't have any other question, right? All right. So let's have a good night rest and let's enjoy our weekend, okay? And let's do our assignment. It's very important. I wouldn't like to be begging us to do the assignment. Please. Very important. Practice make not only passion, it makes you to be familiar with the thing, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Practice the kind of control. All right, good night and let's enjoy our night, okay? Bye everyone.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.